I really should just trade for the things I need. I'm sitting on a few divines and over 100 plus chaos, but I mean, I want to get through the crafting as well. I want to do what's fun, but at the same time, I really should just help myself out. That being said, it's not like listen, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you can't craft like it's solo self-found and do a RF build, because that's not true. So, yeah, I'm just having fun with it. I have a Scepter with +1 fire sitting in the menagerie right now, but I don't have a wolf, and if you know what that means, you know what that means. At the same time, yes, I could just fill in things in the meanwhile, but that's kind of what I'm using right now. At the same time, there is kind of a plot hole in my gear right now, and it's the fact that my amulet has a max dexterity. I think it's even an eye level 85 amulet, but you get the point. If I take that off, it bricks a lot of my equipment, so I should really think about fixing that. That being said, it's not like I don't need the things I'm having right now, but a trained eye would be able to correct things. So if you do have anything to say, whether or not I'll retain whatever you tell me is going to be, I hope I do, but otherwise, what you're seeing on screen is probably heist into a tier 16 Kirak map. There were a bunch of other funny things that happened, like I figured out, for sure, it wasn't it was my fault, but basically an altar dropped during a tier 16 map. I accidentally hit consecrated ground on the boss, and I was like, yeah, is this gonna be okay? And then I was hitting the boss, and I was like, this is not gonna be okay. On top of other things, like I think I fooled around with crystal resonance on the perk tree, and if you know what that means, you know what that means. And yeah, that was one of the worst mistakes I ever made. But I was also farming for essences at that time as well, so I'm shrugging in real life, and that's a phrase you'll hear me say often on this channel, but hey. Yeah, so those are the two funniest things. As for what I'm actually doing, again, the gear is probably the most important priority, because otherwise I can't farm the tier 16 maps that are dropping in my face because I have 2 void stones. But also, I mean, that's not that that's a bad thing, that's a good thing. If I want to I could play safer, but I'm just kind of just charging in and bumbling around. So it is a lot of it is my fault. I won't deny that much, because, well, it is my fault. So what you're seeing on screen most likely now is probably, gear, and soon will be Atlas, perk tree, so on and so forth. But I am, again, trying to improve my gear. After that, directly after that is Atlas progress, because for some reason, I was doing a lot of Searing Exart, as you'll probably see on my Atlas screen, and I wasn't doing my tier 14 Maven progression, so whoops! And then I think right after that, though, as you saw earlier in the video, there was Heist. Just having fun enjoying the world of Path of Exile. And don't let other people tell you that there's not a world, because I do like the banter and heist. I took something good from each mechanic. I might not like everything in all those mechanics in terms of, I'm dying here and there, but that's on me. Again, that's on me. So without further ado, as we get into, again, the specifically gear, again, if you have any advice, if you have anything, I'll try to listen, but I also I research things on my own. I do my best, but obviously you can write essays on Path of Exile. I know I've said that before, but I have to keep stressing that. And yeah, there's a lot. So, again, whether or not I'll retain all of that knowledge, again, I'm slowly making progress, and I'm definitely having fun. But having fun is not an excuse for being inefficient, for me anyway. For everyone else, I mean, you do what you do. Obviously, we know players that have gotten really into playing Path of Exile when Settlers League came out, and they're having, they're doing really well, whether it's currency, whether it's the build they're working is actually letting them destroy maps, whether it is, them having fun being able to make multiple characters with the success they have. Yeah, here I am bubbling around, but I mean, if you saw the expedition short, you know what I mean. But also hoping, I am praying for explodes when the times come. And sometimes they don't come, and I just get really sad, because I'm sitting there going, there are like 30 plus mobs and none of them explode. I guess I'll just eat this damage. Or in some cases, I guess I'll just shield charge away. But yeah, there's a lot of fun times to be had. So if you have anything that you want to see from me specifically, whether you want to see me do gameplay because you want to try and advise me in that kind of parasocial thing, or you just want to see me do something for funsies, then let me know. Otherwise, if you have any other questions, concerns, comments, criticism, again, I'll try to listen, whether or not I'll retain it or not. I mean, we're trying to be civil here, but at the same time, you can also yell at me because I've been making mistakes on my own. But yeah, without further ado, 120 plus deaths, and I will see you when I see you. Those stash tabs really help currency tab up!